Hi everyone, I hope. Oh, take two. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, my name is Amy. I'm a full-time artist and journal enthusiast. In my last two videos, someone requested that I do a video about my art supplies and my journaling supplies. So this is what I'm going to do, but I will separate the topic in two different videos. So this one is all about journaling and stationery and my favorite things to use. So let's get to it. Okay, let's start with my favorite section, the fountain pens. So I do have a big collection, and since I don't want to spend 20 minutes on this category alone, I will have to do a selection and only show you my favorites. Okay, let's start with the one I used most, which is the Kaweco Sport in gray. And this one is always inked with my TWSBI black ink. And this is an extra fine nib. I use it all the time. This is the one I use every day when I write my entries in my journals and planner. So there you can see in my Hobonichi Weeks. This is the one I use for all of my tasks and entries, and pretty much do that every week. So yeah, this is my most used pen. Now, another Kaweco that I use a lot is this one. It's also a sport. This one is in the color Macchiato, and it is a stub nib. So this is the 1.1 stub nib, which is amazing to do some calligraphy, and I also like to write in a Gothic style of lettering. And I use it to write titles and also to write like bolder text. So you can see here I made another for March. So yeah, it's just very fun to write with. Then another Kaweco. This one is from the Art Sport collection, and it's the color Hickory Brown. And this is an extra fine nib. I did change the nib because this one comes with a gold nib. But yeah, I changed it because I needed the nib to be an extra fine one for the ink I was using. And yeah, I think this one is just, it's super fun to write with, but it's also so gorgeous. I love the color and the tortoise. Sorry, my pronunciation of this word is going to be butchered. Tortoise shell pattern. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. Yeah, continuing with the Kaweco, I also have this one, which is the Kaweco student in 20s jazz. And I must say this one is my favorite pen writing wise. It writes so smoothly. The nib is an extra fine. And it glides on the paper. It's an amazing writing experience. And I think, yeah, the ink just flows nicely and it's thin. It behaves perfectly. So yeah, I think, yeah, this is my favorite pen to write with. And for some reason, I don't use it as much. I should really use it more. Then, moving on to the TWSBI. This is my favorite TWSBI that I own. And this is actually the first one I got. So it's the Creme and Rose Gold color. And it's a fine nib. Also super fun to write with. Writes much bolder for a fine nib. And it is paired with one of my favorite inks that you will see in the next category, which is Diamine Industry Autumn Forest. I think this is the pen and ink combination that I like the most from my whole collection. Like, I know this pen will always be inked with that particular ink because it just fits. It writes smoothly and it's a very pretty combination. And this one, which is my very first fountain pen, the Lamy Safari Vista, that is inked with the first ink that I ever got, which was the Diamine Safari. So it wasn't planned. It just having both named Safari. But yeah, it's just a very pretty olive green, bright olive green that you will see in the next section when I talk about the inks. And yeah, at first I got it mostly to draw with, but then when I realized it was so fun to write with fountain pens, that's what happened. Yep, went a little bit overboard, but I try to use them as much as I can. And yeah, I think I succeed at doing so. So it was good investment, and I just absolutely adore my collection. So no regrets whatsoever. Okay, now for the inks. I do also have quite a big collection, so I'm going to be limiting the ones I talk about and only talk about my favorites. I will start with a black, and it is a sheening black that sheens kind of a green color, and it is Diamine Tidings. This one is from an advent calendar, and yeah, since black inks tend to be a little bit boring, I like that this one has a sheen, and yeah, I like to use it on the daily. And then we have my very first ink that I got with my Lamy Safari Vista, and this is the Diamine Safari. So you can see a very bright and beautiful olive green. I absolutely love this color. It's my favorite color ever. And yeah, when I selected my first ink, I wanted to be exactly this color. And then we have Diamine Salamander. It's quite dark on the swatch, but it writes a little bit lighter. It's a mix between a forest green and a swampy olive green that I really love. It behaves very differently on different types of paper. So you can see on this paper, it's more of a forest green. On Tomoe River paper, it will appear more yellow. On vellum paper, it's bright emerald color, which is very surprising. And yeah, I think that's why I like this ink so much. It's almost like a chameleon ink. It's changing depending on what paper you're using it. Then I have my absolute favorite, which is Diamine Industry Autumn Forest, a beautiful muted green with pink shimmer, and it's just so pretty. I love this ink so much. It does shade a little bit. Yep, I love this color. Let's see. Yep, and lastly, and this one is fairly new, but I think on my quest to find the perfect brown, Diamine Ochre is winning. This is okay. I'm sorry, my camera died because of the heat. So yeah, I had to continue another time to let it cool down. So where was I? I was talking about, yes, this one. So Diamine Ochre, which I think is the perfect brown shade that I was looking for. The undertone is not too yellow nor too red. perfect orange undertone. So yeah, this one is my new favorite. Then for darker brown, I have Monteverde Brown Sugar that I really like. This one is inked in my Kaweco Student 20s Jazz. And I think it's a very wet ink, and the extra fine nib from the Kaweco Student writes extra fine. So this combination makes it like just a perfect kind of flow that I really like. So yeah. And I think that's it for the inks. Oh, special mention to Diamine Autumn Oak. This one is inked in my other Kaweco Student. Such a beautiful orange. I love this one. And yeah, I think that's it for my favorite inks. Of course, I have a lot of colors that I like, but if we don't want to spend an hour and a half on this video, I have to move on. So next, let's talk about the journals. So first journal that I want to mention are the Traveler's Notebook. So this one is the passport size in olive brown. I also have the standard size in the color camel that you saw a bunch of time on my channel already. And yeah, so this one I use as a sticker book. So I have all of my stickers in there, and we will get to that section a bit later. And yeah, I just really like the versatility of these journals. The fact that you can put any kind of insert you want in there, make them like not the perfect system, because personally it's not the perfect system, but it's it allows for a lot of possibilities, and the letter is just so beautiful. Then I have my main planner, which is the Hobonichi Weeks that you already saw a lot of time too. This one, I've been using it on and off. Sometimes I will just set my week on Mondays and then forget about it like until Sunday, but I always manage to fill out all of my spreads. And yeah, it uses Tomoe River paper. Super good for fountain pen. At least way better than the 2025 batch, I think. And yeah, so this is one of my go-to. Special mention to the Kinbor planner. So this is kind of a Hobonichi dupe. They are sold on AliExpress for like, I think I paid $20 for the cover and the notebook itself. And it's really much the same exact thing as the Hobonichi Techo original. So it's the A5 size. You get your monthlies at the beginning, then you get one page, one daily page for the whole year. The paper is quite similar to, I think it is a Chinese version of the Tomoe River paper, and it's super fountain pen friendly. I really enjoy working with it. See there, I did a swatch of when I received my Diamine Ochre, and I think it allows the ink to shade quite nicely. It doesn't bleed through. It does do a little bit of ghosting, but this I really don't mind. So yeah, I bought this as my commonplace book, and unfortunately I don't use it as much as I thought I would, but it's okay. We learn, we try. And yeah, so if you want to go into a Hobonichi system but think they are too expensive, this is a very good alternative. And then for the last one, I Frankensteined something recently. So this was an A5 Hobonichi blank grid notebook that I cut to a B6 size, because B6 is like the perfect size to me, not too big, not too small, and I use it as a bullet journal. And this is probably going to be my system for 2027 too. I really like the freedom of being able to arrange my spreads the way I want. So see there, I did, where is it? I did a test there. So I did this spread, kind of copying the layout of the Hobonichi Weeks, so an horizontal weekly layout. So if I want to do that for a week, I can. And if I prefer to do a vertical layout like this, then I can also do it. So yeah, when I started journaling back in 2016, I think, I was doing only bullet journaling. I never used a planner, and started using planners when I learned about the Hobonichi. And I don't know, I feel like coming back to a bullet journal system. So now for stickers and washi tape. Okay, I will start with washi tapes. I don't use them that much, but sometimes to cover some mistakes or to give just a pop of color to the page, I will use them. And so most of them are from Amazon, unfortunately. But I do have some that are from artists. So this one, super cute little forest trinkets, is from 𝔍𝔬𝔲𝔫𝔰𝔫. There I have this one that I got from an artist at an art market from Carcajous. And I also use, well, mine. So this is the one I designed for when I do art markets. I like to sell washi tapes. Can you focus? There we go. So little sprouts with stars. And yeah, like one wheel of washi tape can last me so long because I really use them. Now for stickers, that's another thing though. Like stickers I use all the time, and I keep them all in my sticker release book. So these were all sticker sheets that I just transferred in there, so I have them with me all the time, so it's way more convenient. And I will link down in the description all of the artists I buy them from. So I have some from Megan Rhiannon, Hocmonica, Nicole Josephine, the white pencil. So yeah, it's all, I have some of mine also in there. Oh, these are from Ven's Room. And these from Feuilles Papier. So yeah, I have a bunch in there. I also like to use mine, as I said. Shameless self-promo here. So these are sticker sheets that I designed. They are not yet available in my shop because I'm still trying to perfect the printing and laminating situation. But they will be available one day. I just don't know when. And another thing I really like to do for stickers is printing some PNG images. So I will just go on Pinterest, grab a bunch of little PNG images of objects and food, print them on glossy sticker paper and just make little cute stickers like these. Okay, so now for some miscellaneous items that I use, but I cannot do without. I have a ruler, very basic plastic ruler. It's small, it's compact, so I can travel with it. Then for adhesives, I have this glue tape. So you just run it on the page like liquid paper, and it's little dots of glue, super handy. And for smaller, intricate things I want to paste in my journal, I have this Quickie glue pen from Sakura. It's honestly the best glue pen that I ever had. It's super compact, very small. I can put it in my pencil case very easily. The glue is very strong. I never had anything on stick to the page. So yeah, this is my favorite. I bought a pack of 5 and I use them quite quickly. So yeah, they are very handy. Then I also have these little things. So this is from Muji. It's technically like a credit card holder, but I use it as my sticker and photos. Sorry, I forgot the word for 1 minute. Yeah, so in this little compartment, I keep all of my printed pictures that I eventually paste in my journal. And on the other side, as you saw, I have my little handmade stickers. I have this one that is bigger. And this one can hold a lot of things. So my ruler goes in there, my glue pen, fountain pens, eraser, anything really goes in there whenever I want to have my not art supplies, but my journaling supplies on the go. So yeah, so this. Then like really basic stuff like the ruler, I have just pair of scissors. And sometimes I want to hold my pages in place, so I will use some little clamps like this. So I have the Penco Clampy in green, and I have this brass one that is super, super pretty by 𝔍𝔬𝔲𝔫𝔰𝔫𝔫. Can you tell I'm a fan of her art? I can show you my 𝔓𝔬𝔲𝔫𝔕 pouch. I have no idea if this one is a real 𝔓𝔬𝔲𝔫𝔕 pouch. It does have the label there, but then when I checked on the website, it wasn't listed. I got it from Etsy, and well, if it's a true one or not, I don't really care because I absolutely love this pouch. So yeah, it's like so many pockets, a lot of rooms in there to store my planners and journals and little trinkets, and yeah, everything goes in there. Okay, and now I think we can go to the section of printers. For on-the-go printing and like just quick printing that I want to do, I usually use my Kodak Mini 2 Retro. So this one will print like in CMYK layers. It will print like the cyan layer, then it will swallow back the paper, print the magenta, swallow back, print the yellow. Yeah, and it makes the color very accurate. I also tried the Canon IV mini printer, and the colors were really not satisfying. It uses another printing process with zinc paper. And yeah, the colors were all dulled and a bit green and very dark. But this one, I find that the colors are always super accurate. It's vibrant, it's light, and yeah, I really like this little thing. And when I want to batch print a lot of pictures, I will usually use my Canon printer, which is the Ecotank Pixma G620. To print, I will use either glossy paper, photo paper, and sometimes I will also just use random copy paper. And that's it, guys. That was my stationery favorites. These are the supplies that I use the most and that I enjoy working with the most. I hope this was informative to you, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave a comment and I will answer any kind of questions you may have. So I will see you soon and have a very lovely day. Bye bye, guys.